vibes in the Hobbit Hole in Bob Cage, and I'm your host, Terry, and beside me
is the Jim.
The Jim and Terry Show, where we simply say, have you heard, and catch up on a week's worth of, bleep.
Yeah, and you and me, I'm almost exhausted at the talk we had over breakfast. By the way, thank you for the eggs and the vegetables, the onions, the bell peppers, and the bread was excellent. It was delicious, and the coffee as well. So thank you. But we talk like crazy, and then we get down here, and everybody thinks the only people we talk about is Trump.
We haven't even got to him.
But we started right here at the mic already. To say, what do you think about the judges going against Trump's illegal
Let's get it
tariffs?
out of the way.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
Let's do the rant if there's going to be a rant. What has transpired? Have you heard this week? What have you heard?
Well, what I heard this morning is that the judges have flat out said you do not have the authority to put tariffs and use that War Measures Act, that's what I call it, in order to do it. He doesn't have that power.
Yeah, it's an economic emergency act provision, which has been used in time of war, and there is no war, so...
Yeah.
It
still doesn't take the tariffs off the auto industry like in Canada.
Well, it should. Everything that he's done in terms of taxes is not his power to do. It is up to Congress and the Senate to pass the laws.
He's a train wreck. He flat out is. There's something wrong with this guy.
You've got me to go back and listen to Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC.
Oh, I like Lawrence.
He had a great
Lawrence doesn't hold any punches.
2 episodes or 3 episodes ago, the stupidest president ever, and then this one
was... The most corrupt president ever, and he is.
He is?
Well, I don't know about stupid, but...
Oh, come on. He's dumb as a brick, really.
I think so. A lot of, even like some of the reporter insiders wonder if anybody tells him anything. If he just runs off.
Let's stay on the tariffs in the court. It was a federal court, but not the Supreme Court that overturned his tariffs.
And they've already put in a request to the Supreme Court. So he's just not going to let up.
He's not.
Yeah, and he's furious over the whole taco name that they put on.
Okay, so we move from tariffs to taco, or I guess it's the same story because
it's the same.
Trump always chickens out over tariffs.
That's apparently the talk in Wall Street and that, like watch your trading because Trump always chickens out. They call it taco.
So the markets plummet on when he declares a tariff. And then they rebound when he says, well, we'll give you 90 days. And then they go back down again when he says, no, we're going to increase it on China to 145 instead of 30, 45. And then he backs off and takes it down to whatever it was now, 30% or something. Yeah, so the markets respond. And so do the Treasury bills respond. So there's lots of short-term and long-term responses to the crazy.
Well, the guys that are doing
Trump.
the buying and selling, they're making a fortune.
Are now there Congress people and senators involved in the buying and selling?
Probably. He was right in the Oval Office. I know I mentioned it before, but this was a month ago now. He said that guy made $7 million. That guy made $11 million.
I remember that.
He pointed it right out in the office.
Yep.
It's the most corrupt presidency ever. I don't think there'll ever be one as corrupt as that if America even survives.
And
we're probably going to be hit with this because
he's still in office.
And he's still in office. And as I said before, over my dislike of that man, I dislike the people who are kowtowing.
Oh, who are kowtowing or who he has surrounded himself with?
Well, look at them. Like, look at these people that are supposed to be, number one, they're not experts.
No.
But he's got them there, and they stand there and they smile and they go, yeah, it's no problem putting $2,400 tariff on products and saying that's nothing. Well, I don't know where that's a lot of money to a lot of people.
It is. I'm concerned about the corruption going to, and this was something, have you heard this morning that I surfed through? It was, Trump held a meme coin dinner. You had to pay $5 million or something in order of meme coin value to get into this dinner at Mar-a-Largo, whatever they call that place.
It wasn't at Mar-a-Largo.
No?
No, it was in Jersey, I think. It was in one of his golf courses.
It was in one of his. So
Yeah.
the golf courses get money. So
Yeah.
he again
And they stay in his hotels and everything
Exactly.
else. He makes a fortune.
So the emoluments clause, which says no president should profit from the office of the presidency, who's enforcing that? Anybody?
Well,
Hello? Anybody?
This is
Anybody?
why he reminds me, like, one of these
Ferris
days,
Bueller.
we're going to have to sit down and actually do some work before we talk at this show. And let's just pretend we're trying to find out if he's the Antichrist. And just see how much balances up, the lawless one. He disregards law. Look what he's pardoning, all these crooks.
Oh, did you see the latest
Yeah.
pardons?
Like he's pardoning people that
What did the
shouldn't
mother
be
made
pardoned.
a
$1 million
$1
donation. She bought
and
her-
all of a sudden
yeah.
the son is pardoned.
Yeah.
And that is the way of the world.
Right in front of our faces, right in front of
But
American
we see
faces.
it, and America sees it. So where is justice? I heard, there was some former, I'm going to say president, who said this, that if you have a choice between, I don't even know where I was going, except the corruption.
Yeah.
You buy the office. I'd rather have someone who values justice than who values him or herself, his position.
Yeah.
So Trump has placed a value on his position, and it comes in dollar signs, and meme coin seems to be the operating currency.
Any way he can make money.
Most of those donors, I think it was a dinner for 30 some odd, over 20 of them were foreign donors.
Yeah, and they won't produce a list.
They won't produce it, of course.
Yeah.
And neither will his
And that was in his spare time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's just fine then.
Yeah,
I guess he could sell hot dogs on Yonge Street. I don't know.
And while he was in his spare time, he probably mentally pardoned a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because I can do that, just mentally. So we got
Well, that's already been proven to be the most corrupt use of that clause ever in the history
Which
of the United
clause?
States.
The emoluments clause, or
I don't know what it is, but it's in, the president can do that, but the president can't just put tariffs.
oh yes, yeah,
Congress can't can't pardon anybody,
No.
but they can pass tariffs.
yes.
Yeah, and so somehow this has got reversed, and you think America's going to come out okay? I can't see it.
Well, are they fiddling while Nero burns Rome?
Yeah. Well, you look at let's take Putin, who Trump last words was, "I'll take him at his word," and then 375 missiles rained down on Ukraine.
Oh, what a brutal weekend!
And that was Putin just laughing at Trump,
You
laughing
think you
at
can
him.
control me?
Absolutely laughing at him. Now, Putin might be out of his ever-loving mind, too.
Well, that's
With-
the last thing I heard that Trump said was Putin was crazy. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So Putin's crazy. I don't know what he's doing.
One week,
I think was
one
what
week before
Trump
that,
said.
he was a brilliant man.
And so it is with Trump.
Yep, up and down like a toilet seat.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
And they gets mad. They're just somebody brought up the taco thing, and a mature president would say, "Yeah, I heard that, and they've got that wrong." He goes, "You're a horrible fake news." That guy will probably be banished from the Oval Office just for bringing out something that's in the headlines. Mm-hmm. He's not bad. He's just reporting.
It was the Wall Street Journal, I think, that reported that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How do you feel about that? Well, I think it's disgusting.
And
but
you're
that'll pass.
disgusting.
Yeah, but not, I think that's disgusting. You're disgusting. Your mother's disgusting. I hate you. I want you dead. And I don't want you,
And you're going to be arrested by ICE. Expect the visit. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on for corruption. But getting back to Lawrence O'Donnell.
Oh, I like him.
He has been saying this since November.
Years.
Well, the corruption, he went back to first semester, first term.
Semester.
I'm in teacher mode. Oh my God. God help me. Having nightmares too then. He's been saying it for a long time about the corruption of the Trump administration. And then we
Well, it's
learned.
blatant.
It is blatant.
You'd have to be an idiot
But
not to
here we
see
are,
it.
two old guys with our coffee in Bob Cajun, and that's our opinion, and we don't know a lot. We don't know the insider stuff.
Oh, and the paying off. I mean, Melania is getting more money than anybody's ever had for a documentary.
Well, she had meme coin too, Smelania. The dollar sign in front of Melania and dollar sign Trump, Strump, and Smelania for their meme coins. Yeah, they're all going into Bitcoin. Yeah. Why? Because it's not traceable. It's not taxable. No.
Jared Kushner's $2 billion payoff.
Oh, from Saudi Arabia.
From Saudi Arabia to fund his financial advising company or something, which it hadn't been started yet.
And
just
who
paid
was
him $2 billion.
And who was it who bailed Kushner out on the Beast 666 Park Avenue? I don't know who funded that. Kuwait, maybe. So the Middle Eastern oil seems to be financing the whole Trump family.
Oh, they're
and
laughing
administration.
too. This whole jet thing. I mean, let's remember it's a jet they didn't want, and they tried to sell it. Nobody bought it.
Let's remember that the jets that the attack on 9/11 were Saudis.
Yeah.
So. Do we connect the dots, or do we just don't care anymore about connecting dots?
Well, talk about
they were dots back in the day, but they're not dots now.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, like Qatar there, or Qatar, or whatever way you want to call it, we have to remember that they are also friends of Hamas, friends of Iran.
Financing.
And then isn't it funny, he gets a jet, and now they're talking nuclear talks with Iran. Corrupt government.
There you go. The opening salvo from the Jim and Terry Show. Take care now. Episode 2 coming up on a Thursday. Bye-bye for now.